welcome to another episode of Full of Flavour Cooking with Adam. Okay, so today we're going to be cooking a Massaman curry. A beautiful curry from Thailand, very mild and just full of flavour. So I'm going to use, I'm doing a little twist on this, and I'm going to use some veal ossobuco. The reason I use this is because the bone marrow in it just gives that extra bit of just fatty flavour to it. It's just a delicious taste. So you can buy this locally from your local butcher. I paid $17 a kilo for this. It's a very cheap meat, but it's going to do wonders with your curry. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run through the ingredients you need. So basically we just need, so we've got the veal, we've got 1 onion, some palm sugar, the Massaman curry paste, 3 potatoes, some coconut milk, lemongrass, Thai basil. Thai basil is it's the next level. It's so different to normal basil. Like, you can substitute normal basil, but I recommend trying to find the Thai basil. It has a real unique flavour to it, real aniseed. And KAFFIR lime leaves, and some ginger. Okay, and let's get started. You'll find all of the ingredients just below. Okay, so we're just going to start by just chopping the onion. So now we've got our onion chopped, we're just going to take our ginger. Just going to pull off a nice round of ginger, just fits in the palm of your hand. Just going to peel that down, take off all that rough skin. Just slice that up. This doesn't have to be too fine. It doesn't matter if you've got a little, a few chunks of ginger in there at all. Just adds the flavour of it. Just add that together with the onion. With the lemongrass, just take off the outer leaf, or outer stem, whatever you want to call it. Just the bits that are being exposed. Just chop off the top. You can discard those. With the lemongrass, all I'm going to do, literally, is just break it. Just break it up. Just let all those flavours come out when it starts cooking. Just give it a bit of a crunch. That's it. You can add that with your onions and your ginger. Okay, so we're going to move on to the cooking. Okay, so what we want is a nice heavy based pan, and we're going to put it on full heat, and because what we want to do is we want to seal the meat first. Now, there's a lot of things that people forget when you're cooking at home, and you're things are starting to come along. But what you really need to do is crack a beer and let the process begin. Okay, so we're going to put about 5 tablespoons of vegetable oil into the pan. Don't worry about using too much oil, because I'm going to skim a little bit off later. Okay. So we'll take our ossobuco, throw it over the pan. I'm just going to give it a light sear. So I'm just lightly browning these off. You don't want to brown them off too much. Just give them a light browning. Then we'll take those out and we'll set those aside. Okay, from there we're going to add the lemongrass, the ginger and the onion to the oil that's in the pan. we're just leaving that lemongrass whole. Just, you know, leave it in there, don't worry about it. We're just going to saute that off until the onion's soft, the ginger's started to soften. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so the onions and the ginger and everything is all started to soften. Just lightly browned. I'll give you a quick peek. Just lightly browned in the pot. Then we're going to add our paste. So I'm going to use about 3/4 of a jar of this. All that oil comes out. Don't worry about it, we're going to skim some off later. You can always save this for a stir fry or, you know, or whatever. You know. And you really want to cook this down to release the oils and all the flavours. Delicious. Okay, so once all that's all sweated down, it's all mixing together, it will stick to the base of the pan a little bit, but that doesn't matter, just keep scratching it off, it's just added flavour, it's just the caramelisation of everything, all the curry paste, all coming together. So you should have a bit of a mix, looking a bit like that. Okay, so now we're just going to add 40 grams of palm sugar. I've just chopped it up into random, you know, small pieces. Throw that into the pot and turn the heat down a little bit. Turn that down to number 5. We're just going to let that sugar melt, everything come together, and then we'll add all the rest of the ingredients. Okay, that's all melted together. Everything's combined well. So now we're going to take the chicken stock. And here I've got 300 mils of chicken stock. You can buy this from the shop, you can make it yourself, whichever, they all work well. I buy the unsalted one because this curry can be salty. We're just going to pop that in there. And that will help to deglaze the pan. Take all of the caramelization off the base of the pan. Pop the heat back up again, just to aid that process. Okay. Okay, so that's coming along nicely. Everything's amalgamated, the stock's in there, all the paste and everything, it's all mixed together. It's coming along nice. It's a nice layer of oil on the top as well. Don't worry about that, it should always have a little layer of oil on the top. So now I'm just going to add the coconut milk. Now, a Massaman curry should be quite saucy, almost like a soup. So we had 2 tins of coconut milk. Coconut milk, not coconut cream. Okay, so now we've brought the sauce back up to the boil. I'm just going to turn that down to just a low simmer. We're going to take the ossobuco. I'm going to pop that in the sauce. Okay, so now we've put the veal into the sauce. We're going to let this simmer on a low heat for about 1 hour before we add the potatoes. When we add the potatoes, once they start cooking, the starch from the potatoes will start to thicken your sauce. So we're probably going to have to add a little touch more chicken stock just to balance it all out. But we'll see. Okay, so we've had this simmering for an hour now, just on a low heat. Now the veal is just starting to cook, it's just starting to break down. Don't worry about the meatballs on the side, that's just my wife cooking for my son Oliver, just sitting over here. So now we're going to add the potatoes. So I took 3 potatoes, cut them into quarters. just going to pop those in. Now at this stage, what I need to do is, the potatoes are going to thicken your sauce, and you don't want to stir your sauce too much. You don't want to break the potatoes down. You don't want to add any extra thickness to that sauce unless you need to. So I'm going to add another 250 mils of chicken stock. This is going to need to cook down for about another 45 minutes to an hour. So like I say, the reason I'm putting that extra stock in now that I put the potatoes in is I don't want that sauce to thicken up too much. You don't want a thick, gluggy sauce at the end of this. You want it light, fragrant, and just and delicious. So we're just going to leave that, set that. Once it comes back up to the boil, I'm going to put it back up to the boil, and then once it comes back up to the boil, I'm going to reduce the heat down to a low simmer again for, like I say, about an hour. So now I'm going to start preparing my rice. Everyone cooks rice in a different way. I think I cook it differently every time I cook it. Today I'm going to start with about 1 litre of water. I'm going to bring that up to the boil. So what I've done previously is I've just taken a sieve and I've taken 1 cup of rice and I've rinsed it under the water just to get all the excess starch off. Then I'm just going to pop it into the water. I've got a little pinch of salt in the water. I'm just going to add my rice to the water. Give it a quick stir. Once it's tender, put it back into the sieve, drain it off, and then put it back in the pot and just let it sit there, let it steam off. And that'll be ready for when you want to eat it. Okay, so now the curry's almost there. Now we're going to add the KAFFIR lime leaves. We're just going to strip them down the centre. So now that the lime leaves are in, we're just going to let them simmer for a few seconds just to release the oils and all the beautifulness from them. And then we're going to move on to the basil leaves, the Thai basil leaves. Just going to break these off. I've just got a nice handful of these here. Don't be afraid to use too many. We've got about 10 leaves in there. Give it a shake. Don't stir it too much, you don't want to break the potatoes or the meat. And then just let that sit and rest for about 10 very last 5 minutes. What we need to do is add the fish sauce. And I'm going to go about 4 tablespoons. And that's your seasoning, that's your salt, that'll balance out the sweetness of the curry. Give that a squeeze. We're smelling great. And so here's the curry. Oh. Now that's full of flavour. If you've got any questions, please ask down below. So if you like this video, please subscribe to stay updated with all of our latest videos. There's more to come, guys.